say penis?
Oh, penis.
Betas.
Penis.
Well, we're live. That was a great intro, everybody. Welcome to the church.
Everybody, shut up. That's my thing, Zero. How dare you? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Church of Chonkwij podcast. This is a professional operation. God damn it. My name is DrNiggle, and I am joined by Masami, OmegaConstruct, the Eliteness, and Zero Bird. We have an excellent show planned for you tonight. How's everybody doing?
Wonderful.
The momentum.
We're like monkeys trying to hump a fucking doorknob here, but it's great.
That might be the worst analogy I've ever heard, but it's kind of amazing.
I'm sitting back here just, with in Morticia gift fashion, just drinking my tea, watching the train wreck.
You're sitting back and... Oh, never mind.
No, you don't get to bail on jokes. Come on, we want to hear it.
Oh, no, I was going to say enjoying the ride.
God, see, that was a good joke. Let's see. So yeah, no, I don't think. Well, if a monkey were to fuck a doorknob, then they would have to do it like ass to doorknob, and I don't think monkeys are tall enough to get. Well, a silverback would definitely be tall enough to get that. You'd be a fully grown monkey, but
you're thinking of the wrong way. It's got to be a really tiny monkey with a tiny penis that can fuck the keyhole.
Oh.
I mean, they don't have the biggest
door while hanging on to the doorknob and fuck it. Like, you see those little tiny monkeys that like barely fit in your hand. It's one of those. I imagine they've got little like needle dicks.
Monkeys don't have big boys.
They got huge balls though.
They've
got
huge bums.
This gives a new meaning to two in the hand and one in the bush.
Hell.
You know what? That's fine.
One in the bum.
Acceptable.
Or in the lock.
Give you that.
Ooh, she earned one early tonight.
Yeah, no, we're coming out strong here. Anyway, the first news of the night, we got a lot of stuff to talk about with Cyberpunk 2077. It's apparently been a very exciting week. So Cyberpunk 2077 unlocks next week. Worldwide unlock times and preload times have now been announced. So this is supposedly like super serial. It's definitely going to happen. No more delays. 4 p.m. Pacific time on December 9th. That's 7 p.m. Eastern time on December 9th. That's December 9th.
Few days away.
2 days away. Oh, because this article was written technically last week.
Yeah.
Saturday is not... Okay, yeah, fine. It's technically...
I've already got it preloaded.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, right. So December 9th, if you're on the Eastern Coast, it's going to be 7 p.m. If you're on the Pacific Coast out in California, it's going to be 4 p.m. If you're international, basically the same time, 12 a.m. GMT, 8 a.m. CST, and 11 a.m. AEDT.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure out. Go to Google and type, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
This is America. We only deal in America time.
Says the man from South Africa.
Yeah, aren't you African American?
That's why it's funny.
Oh my god.
This is a whole thing.
Well, it was nice having my Twitch channel.
And in some cases, time is the least of your worries. Sometimes it's the 1950s too, to boot.
What?
Console players are slightly different schedule. CD Projekt Red said that console versions will release in each region at midnight at local time. So, fuck you, console peasants. PC's getting it first.
I mean,
it should be.
Nice of you.
That's the way it should be. Console peasants don't deserve to play games. They should stick to
that
Minecraft.
Seemed overly harsh.
Minecraft and like Splatoon and things like that.
No, Minecraft was ours first. Okay, look, it's so bad. I've only been on PC for how long, and I'm saying, okay, Minecraft was ours first.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true, actually. That's true, but it's become the game of the consoles.
Wait, when did everyone get there? Besides Leetness, because I don't want to hear another depressing story about his childhood. Besides Leetness, when did everybody get or build their first PC?
Yeah, are we including? Well, no, laptops count.
Laptops
2005.
have to. Yeah, laptops have to count. Otherwise, Masami's shit out of luck. I think.
I don't know. I built a computer back in like 2013. Yeah, that was my first one.
Oh, cool. I thought you preferred
proper desktop
gaming laptops.
No. This is forced necessity. I have a small fucking ass apartment. I've got nowhere for a tower. I've got 2 towers sitting in my freaking thing where I just need to fix various pieces, and I'd have a halfway decent machine, although it might like 4 years old.
Okay. Omega, Omega, when did you get your computer? Build a computer or whatever.
That was a couple of years back. You helped me build it. I mean, I had laptops back in college and shit, but nothing that I did any serious gaming on.
We actually had the same laptop in college. I had the 17-inch version. You had the 15-inch version. But same model, Pavilions. Old school. Speaking of, not speaking of old school, but there's a whole section on here, when can I preload Cyberpunk 2077, and I wanted to ask our resident expert, the Leetness. Leetness, when can you preload Cyberpunk 2077?
Today! You can preload it right now. It's preloadable. The 55 gig patch is available for preload.
I thought it was a 55 gigabyte game, and they're going to have a 45 gigabyte patch.
No, it's a 55 gigabyte download for preload. I'm guessing the patch will come whenever they release.
And
so you'll have another 45 gigs to fucking download whenever it actually goes live.
It's like almost an entire second game at that point.
Yeah. Basically. I expect many of patches, and we're probably going to get like 5 to 6 like massive patches in the first few months.
I mean, the thing is going to be bigger than GTA.
Into the next bit of news for Cyberpunk 2077, which is that CD Projekt Red has confirmed some slightly disappointing news. I love how the article says slightly. Yeah, fuck you. The next game from developers of The Witcher 3, finally, after several days and years in development, was releasing next week. Blah, blah, blah. It's going to require a day 1 patch.
Yeah.
The update is, according to their Twitter, CD Projekt Red's Twitter, it is going to be a 43.5 gigabyte download. Actually, sorry, that's according to Dreamcast guy on Twitter, not CD Projekt Red. But yeah, that's a fucking huge day 1 patch.
That's big. I love your ads, by the way, Zero.
the Bell Wholesale ad, with the girl in the ugly sweater onesie with the seriously sweet ass.
Look, whatever it is that you wear at home is perfectly fine.
You know what's funny? I'm wearing that exact thing right now.
Is it?
Super comfy.
That's
hot. Camo is not real.
I'm not sure that's a mental image any of us needed.
Well, I mean, need and want are 2 completely different things, Masami.
Zero.
Is more like
Zero. Shiba gave you a compliment.
Thank you, Shiba. I appreciate it. I'm comfortable enough with myself. He's talking about the picture in the ad. Got it.
No. All right, whatever.
I don't know about that.
So that is the disappointing launch news that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to have a day 1 patch, and it's going to be 43.5 gigs. So, meh. Take it how you will.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Apparently, it's going to be taken very largely and with lots of lube.
I mean,
they're just going to shove it in.
Don't really have much choice.
I mean, at this point, the whole community around Cyberpunk 2077 has been lubing. So at this point, they probably are completely out, and it's just going to be raw dog.
Yeah, I don't know how much. Okay, yeah. We've got a review Megathread coming up. Never mind. I was gonna jump into a review, and then I was, yeah, never mind.
Yeah. Apart from, I guess we can probably gloss over that. I don't know if anyone else has anything to say about day one patches. I'm not a fan.
Nah.
But what are you gonna do, really?
I usually expect them anymore. Like,
but I mean,
shouldn't have come as a surprise. They've said that that's the reason they extended it, because there was still work that they were doing, even though they've already, even though the game already quote unquote went gold, and that's what they were saying was, this is work to go into the day one patch, and that's why we need to push it back a couple more weeks and whatnot. And like this was, the size of it is certainly shocking. But the fact that there is a patch, I don't think should come as a surprise to anyone. And my only hope is that at least some portion of the day one patch will overwrite some portion of the massive core installation, instead of just simply adding on to it and making it ungodly huge.
I don't know, that's an awful lot of 4K textures. I don't think we could compress those any further, though. Well, we totally could.
Well, the thing that's I think is the most disappointing is that it's like you can preload today, and then 2 days later they're going to have another 43 gigs for you to download.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mean, what did 48 hours cover exactly that you couldn't have just got it all in one?
They're working to the last second.
I know, but seriously, 48 hours. Oh gosh, that worries me immensely. If the fact that 48 hours was so radically different that you couldn't fucking withhold the patch, then I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, yeah, we'll talk about what the reviews said.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are probably going to be streaming it on launch day, and they'll probably stay up way too late, grinding it and playing as hard as they can to get as far as they can. So, yeah, we'll definitely see if people come across some interesting bugs or not. I imagine we'll hear about it. Another thing that we might hear about is the freaking insane user manual, the physical strategy guide for Cyberpunk 2077. If anyone has ever played Dark Souls and tried to get a physical strategy guide to any of the Dark Souls games, they're kind of like textbooks. If anybody, actually a good example of this, if anybody went to art school and has a Jansen's History of Western Art, it's a giant fucking tome. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So Cyberpunk 2077 is also getting one, and it is 464 pages long, which is huge.
Seems like a home defense device.
Free?
You just beat off people? No. Beat off people, I said.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
you
think
go.
want to beat off people with it, but I mean, you could beat on people with it.
Hell yeah.
I prefer
Or
the
both.
first option.
Yeah, me too, personally. The standard paperback edition is 464 pages, and it's $25. The hardcover collector's edition is 496 pages, and it's $40. So it is not free. It's sold separately. But yeah, it exists. And you probably want to avoid all of the unofficial guides that are already available from Amazon and whatever, because they're not official, and they're kind of bullshit.
Yeah, the tagline on the article kind of says it all. That's a lot of official strategy. Good God.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this speaks to the complexity of character classes and how you can build your characters and how decisions branch out. I'm hoping it speaks to the complexity of that.
I'm guessing
that's what it says. It says it covers all the decision trees, all the different potential paths you could take. It breaks all that stuff down, as well as breaking down the various quests and storylines. But yeah, it gives you the whole decision trees and everything like that. It's a giant book of spoilers.
I'll wait for the PDF that gets uploaded online.
Also, yeah, I would also wait for.
All I have to say is in this photo, the guy on the right with the cybernetic arm holding the gun looks like he has a skullet.
That's that's Cyberpunk Danny DeVito.
Oh my god.
Nice.
His face is a bit too
I'm
long.
pretty sure that's Cyberpunk Gallagher without a beret.
Oh, I think you're right. Just minus the
Wait,
mustache.
did Gallagher go bald on top?
Oh yeah.
I've
That's
only
why he
ever
wore
seen
the
him wearing
beret.
a hat. Yeah, I've only ever seen him wearing a hat.
He a couple times in some shows he would like take it off to mop down his head or something, and yeah, he was very bald.
Oh yeah.
He's
He's
having
Gallagher
ramen.
was actually two people. The guy who did the specials was one guy, and the guy who did the road shows were his brother. And then they got into a huge legal argument over who owned the rights to the name, and that's why there was no more Gallagher for a while.
I did know that his brother was also doing shows.
That looks like ramen that he's having, right? Because there's a half egg there. Looks like at least a half-boiled egg in the bowl.
Real ramen. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got a massive gaping hole in his neck. That seems dicey.
Wait, no, that's not a hole in his neck, right? That's just like a thing that's attached to his
robot
windpipe.
Yeah, he's got a robot
that's
throat. So
robot
how the
throat.
hell do you...
Robo throat.
Listen, it's the future. They're not going to give you a robo throat if you can't eat soup with it.
Yeah,
True,
it's
I
if
suppose.
anything, it's going to enhance your ability to eat soup.
That might be an upgrade. Like,
It's like
that might cost extra,
It's an extra for flavor.
but
It's like those toilets that can suck down a whole bucket full of golf balls in one flush. Yeah, that's what your Robo Throat does, but with soup.
I like it. They must really want the his ramen.
For anybody who's listening to this, we're talking about a picture of a guy sitting at a bar eating ramen, and there are two people flanking him on either side, pointing pistols at his head. You know what? They must. I'm just going to go with that. They must really want his ramen. They're really big fans of. Well, food is scarce in the future. There are lots of robots, but not a lot of food. So they're all after that egg drop soup or ramen.
Or it could be the sushi to the right. To the right. I don't know.
Is
There's
that
some
sushi?
Yep. I've put it on the second monitor and zoomed in.
Okay, all right.
I'm inspecting what he's eating.
This is a professional.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And he
moving
does
on.
not look like he wants to share his ramen either.
No, he looks
He's
he
like-
looks very, very unamused.
I have just put soy sauce in. It's just to the right taste. You cannot have it.
Oh god.
Or something.
Okay. Speaking of not wanting, Cyberpunk 2077 or CD Projekt Red via Twitter has announced, they've warned streamers against pre-launch leaks. So let's see, we're getting closer and closer to launch, and chances are some of you will get your hands on a copy of Cyberpunk 2077 before release day. Spoiler-free. They want a spoiler-free experience for everyone who will be playing it on launch day. So they kindly ask people to not stream Let's Plays or release any similar content before December 9th at 12 p.m. CST or 3 a.m. PST. So if you do stream it before December 9th, 12 p.m. CET or 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, they will send you a DMCA. They will take your stream down, and after that date, they'd be happy if everybody streamed it. But yeah, they have put out an official warning to streamers. Anybody get to stream it day one, Leetness?
Maybe.
You're our source, so I mean.
I mean, I don't stream often, but maybe.
Take the day off work, right? You got nothing going on at work.
Oh no, I've definitely got a busy work week, so it will be after hours stream.
Okay, you can start streaming at 3 a.m. Pacific. That's 6 a.m. December 9th. Yeah, get up early.
Cool. I'm usually
Instead of-
up around that time anyway.
instead of yogging, you can play Cyberpunk.
Yogging.
I understand it's Swedish. I've never tried it myself. I imagine it's spicy. So, Linus, you were going to talk about the before we got into review Mega Thread. You were going to review something. Give your thoughts on it.
No, yeah, there's been a bunch of reviews where they praise the hell out of the product of CD Projekt Red, the RPG. It's one of the best RPGs they've played in a long time, but very buggy, which is scary.
I wonder if they're playing the
keep in
unpatched
mind-
version in that
keep in
45
mind-
big.
Yeah,
All the reviewers are getting not like there's this big patch and then there's another day one patch, so they're not playing
the current.
that
yeah.
are going to be in players' hands.
Yeah, if you look at the very first comment, if you scroll down on that thread, the very first comment is, "So, great game, but buggy as hell." But yeah, I mean, it is the review copy, I guess. So they're not playing what the release product is. Hopefully, with those few days that they had extra, they managed to squash all the many bugs that people have encountered.
I am sincerely whelmed by this reception. I don't remember what that movie was, but it came out when I was in high school.
You mean the quote where she's going, "You can be underwhelmed and overwhelmed, but can you just be whelmed?" Is 10 things I hate about you.
I think you can in Europe. Yeah. Mike,
Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
I loved that movie.
I avoided that movie.
Not entirely in games.
You clearly did not.
No, I saw the trailer for it 6 billion times. I was just like, all right, I get it. I'm not interested.
Mm-hmm. Secret favorite movie.
Wait, no, what is my secret favorite movie?
Easy A.
No, I'll get back to you. It's dumber than that. It's probably something really fucking stupid. All right, I'll think about it. Anyway, what Lena says is correct. There are a score of reviews here, and for you children out there, that's 40, and they're overwhelmingly positive. And yeah, then you get into user comments where there's like, yeah, you guys are talking about some bugs here and everything. So yeah, as Omega said, this is before the patch. And people are saying that the day one patch will fix many of these issues. I don't know how they'd know that, but yeah, we can hope. So,
Thank you, Illuminati.
yeah, right. So we have covered the Cyberpunk 2077 updates coming out in 2 days. We'll all have a great time with that, I'm sure. So the next batch of topics have to do with Omega. Why don't you take us into these?
Well, where did we leave off? Let's refer to the list. Twitch has removed a blind playthrough tag because it offends made-up people who don't actually
Bots.
exist, apparently.
It offends bots.
Yeah, apparently blind playthrough is offensive to the blind community, just like all the other 10 million terms that involve the word blind in them. God forbid you have blinds on your windows. And, God forbid this is the decision made by a website called Twitch, which is obviously offensive to people with Tourette's, but hey, that's fine, right?
Look, it's not okay anymore for anyone to have blind luck.
Nope.
Oh, oof.
You ever use a duck blind when you're out hunting, Zero?
I don't hunt ducks. We hunt deer here. Jesus.
Well, that's good, because using a duck blind is offensive to blind ducks.
No, I do use a deer blind.
That's offensive to blind deer. You're racist.
Oh dear.
That's also offensive to deer.
Leetness, we're just all kinds of speciesist up in here.
Oh gosh.
This is
I don't.
ridiculous. This is a real thing.
Here's my thing. This is more of that people complaining just because they have nothing else to complain about. So they find something, they find the topic of the day, and then they hound the shit out of whatever company they want to hound to get this shit done. Look, I'm sorry. A blind playthrough is going through a game without ever having seen it before. That is, and we all know that. This term is in no way offensive, and to mark it as such is, pardon the expression, functionally retarded. It is just more of this bullshit of censoring speech and going in and trying to change the way that we say things. And I'm sorry, I don't agree with it. I think it's dumb.
Well,
I think it's bullshit, and I think that Twitch is just fucking bowing or bending the knee to people who have nothing better to do than to fucking complain. Listen, Karen, you need to back the fuck off. Let us have our games and fucking let us have our games. Let us have our shit and leave us the fuck alone. Keep your fucking Walmart manager looking ass off of my video games. Period.
Well,
End of
let's
statement.
let's not bring Karen into this. That bitch doesn't care about anyone but herself.
Tell us how you really feel.
It's my job to play devil's advocate here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. It was actually Steve Saylor, who runs a YouTube channel called Blind Gamer, and he's also an editor of a website, blog, whatever. Was quoted as saying that changing the term blind playthrough is not social justice warriors being super sensitive. I've said this before, first playthrough is a better description anyway. I personally am not offended by it, but I do think it's a term that can go away. So this sort of sounds like a thing that just started off as a suggestion, and then some, like, people who just really feed off of righteous outrage hopped onto the subject, hopped onto the bandwagon, and blew this thing way the fuck out of proportion. And Twitch is already dealing with people being super pissed off at them for basically deleting their videos and not giving them a chance to refute any DMCA claims or takedown claims. So they were just, they cut their losses, just like, fine, whatever, we don't care.
Yeah, they're probably not wrong about that. I'd agree with that logic.
That's my guess and my devil's advocate. My honest opinion is what the fuck ever. It's a blind play. I don't think that, someone playing, a blind person playing, has to be labeled as blind play. If I see someone, doing a blind playthrough, I'm not like, oh, they must be blind. No, I'm like, oh, they've never played that game before. It's like their first experience. Okay, fine. Are we not allowed to use blindfolds anymore?
No. Only eye covers.
Only when you and Leetness are alone in
my
a dark
God.
corner.
Just start calling, do the super fucking stupid thing. When you
Window
name things,
covers.
just name it exactly what it is. This is what we do with sports, by the way. It's not, it's not baseball. It's throwball. It's not frisbee. It's novelty flying disc.
Oh my god. Novelty flying disc?
Oh, that's good.
I've been doing this. Yeah, Parker Omega and I have been doing this since, like, I don't know how long.
Novelty flying disc is a good one.
So what's football?
Football is just touch ball.
Sport ball.
Sport ball is generally, that's usually basketball.
Oh gosh.
We're taking stupid names to make them even stupider. More stupider, excuse me. Grammar Nazi.
Stupider.
Stupider.
All right. So, anyway,
Yeah.
blind playthroughs, not a thing. Unseen gaming footage playthroughs.
Well, that seemed
No.
unnecessary.
Now they're officially termed like first playthrough or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Isn't that offensive to the people that came second?
Yes, it is. I am
What's
personally
on
outraged
third?
by this, and I will go to Twitter and tell the internet exactly how outraged I am.
Please do.
And
I
people
will
will care.
boost the shit out of that post. Please do it.
All right.
I made mention that it was just a bunch of bots that were mindlessly agreeing with people, but there are some real bots that are fighting eBay scalper listings. And this is actually hilarious. Omega found this article, and I love it. Omega, if you want
I
to...
actually started on Reddit, on the AMD subreddit last week, when all copies were off the shelves and a bunch of eBay scalpers were putting up their listings. The moderators of the AMD subreddit, I believe it was the moderators, they put up a post that was very tongue-in-cheek, talking about how it's not nice to be mean to scalpers and do terrible things, like, and then he proceeded to list exactly how you could build a bot to falsely bid on all of these scalper accounts or scalper listings. So they're like jacking up the prices on shit up to $60,000-$70,000 for a graphics card, and so obviously not paying for any of it. It's just kind of funny to see people finally kind of taking a stand against scalpers, and apparently it worked to some extent, because there were a lot of listings that got left behind, and stock has started to reappear in stores. So, yeah.
Nice.
We had run an article a couple weeks ago about the most common passwords, and I speculated that they could be attached to burner email accounts, and detailing exactly how one would create a fake account on eBay to do exactly this. You just need a burner email and a burner account on eBay and a VPN, and all those things. With those three things, you can give scalpers a serious headache. I actually want to go to eBay and see if I can find one of these scalper assholes.
Scalper wars.
It's a very clever way to fight them.
It's extremely clever way to fight them. I think the other one that we spoke about last week, where the people on were sending people to like comedy clubs, and for the current gen consoles for the PS5 and Xbox X, because I think the best one was this guy had this scalper show up at a comedy joint and told him to go inside and tell them how much he was charging for a PS5 because it was a fucking joke, and never showed up. And apparently the scalper called the cops on the guy, which the cops just kind of laughed at him.
Oh, boo.
I mean, I can't imagine there's anything illegal with wasting someone's time.
Nah.
Not particularly.
I mean, if there was, there would be a lot of scammers to be getting arrested.
There's a Ryzen 9 going for $25,000 on eBay right now.
Nice. We should all go bid. Not.
Hey, it'd take you 30 seconds to make a burner account, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Oh,
I wonder how much.
well.
Oh, all right. Well, no. I'm not doing. I'm obviously not doing this because that breaks eBay's TOS. I'm doing something else.
Well, so on from this the bot scalpers thing, the there is a Twitch channel that is currently going that is checking for the NVIDIA RTX 3080 stock, and it literally will tell you what websites or places have them in stock.
What the
So,
fuck?
Yeah.
$3,261 for a 3080?
Yep.
Jeez, like. That's fucking crazy.
I mean, it's ingenious that.
It's so easy. That is so easy to write.
Yeah.
That's literally just an Azure function or something like that pushes it to a console.
The
Can you feed a
genius is in
Google
the
alert?
execution. The genius is in thinking of it.
Yes, that's correct.
I don't care what you say. I hate Steve
Yeah,
Jobs.
you see, he's getting 503s. That's because something changed on the query. Forbidden. Oh, that's forbidden. 503.
It's hypnotizing actually watching this.
Oh no, I could watch it for a long time.
It says on your update, to clarify, it isn't actually Jeff's stream. Someone just decided to put it up for the benefit of others. What a sweetie.
Huh. Yeah, so that much money for brand new RTX doesn't surprise me. I can't remember the last time cards, I guess mostly GPUs, got hit this bad by scalpers. And now next-gen consoles, I know people have been scalping consoles for a long time, but it seems like the scale of it has really increased this year.
Yeah. I mean,
everyone's trying to make a buck.
I mean, and of course, I can't fault somebody for wanting to make money. That's not the issue that I have. The issue that I have is that when you've got one person who's bought the entire stock of one store and is then turning around and selling all of those up priced by 100%.
No one to blame but the stores.
yeah.
I'm gonna take a more controversial stance on this issue, and I'm gonna say that I hate scalpers, and I think they should all die of cancer. There, I said it. I know it's not a popular opinion.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of scalpers as well. I love the one story about that guy that bought like, I don't know, $200,000 worth of freaking toilet paper and then try to sell it on Amazon. And
Amazon was like, no, you're a scalper.
Delisted all of his stuff. So he was stuck with $200,000 worth of toilet paper.
So his garage was packed with toilet paper and he had nothing to do with it. Yeah,
it's like, fuck you, dickhead.
That was taking advantage of a health crisis. That was like lowest of the low.
Yeah.
Fucking people selling hand sanitizer for $300 a bottle. I agree, Shiba.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. They can eat a massive bag of dicks. Indeed.
And not even the gummy ones that taste good. We want the raunchy ones.
Ooh.
I'd just rather send them the glitter dicks. They'll never get them out. Ever. Forever.
At that point, you just have to burn the house down. That's
exactly.
Standard procedure.
That's an amazing idea.
I'm pretty sure you can send someone a bag of glitter dicks.
Oh yeah. No, I was thinking more of a sort of a spring-loaded launcher that went off when you opened the box and just shot glitter all over your house.
They actually have those.
Yes, I have seen a video where someone will do that.
We actually there's a website where you can do it, and we did one for my boss in my old job, and had it delivered to work, and he opened it and just glitter everywhere. It was, needless to say, the housekeeping people were pissed at him.
So unfortunately, glitterdicks.com is taken, but
God.
So we're doing this again. Great.
The weekly buying new domains that Letus does indeed.
Glittertext.store is available.
Wait, what's that? Oh, bejazzling. What about Dick Bejazzle?
Oh God.
Dick
Oh, that-
Jazzle?
That's
Dick Jazzle. Yes, dickjazzle.com.
That sounds
Oh,
painful.
oh my god, that's available.
Oh
I feel
my
like I'm
God.
gonna get that.
New concept here. I'm just gonna take all the royalty-free images of twinks that are out there, and I'm going to replace their dicks with like photoshopped on rhinestoned apparatuses,
Oh, good
and
lord.
we're gonna start this thing.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like Shiva said, vajazzling is a thing, so why not dick jazzling?
Yeah, pajazzle.
Okay.
Panazzle?
All right.
Pajazzle.
Well, speaking of getting off,
Oh yeah, right.
Oh.
Well, no, we got one more piece of tech news. The 16 terabyte SSD is close to launching, and I'm assuming that's coming from Samsung.
Sobrent.
Sobrent.
Oh, those guys.
Never.
I am actually familiar with their SSDs. Actually, the reason I'm most familiar with them is because I use them all the time in PC Building Simulator. It's kind of sad. Moving on, large capacity SSDs for the consumer market are coming, and not surprisingly, Sabrent is the driving force behind one of them. So this is it says it's a 2.5 inch model, but they have an M.2 or an NVMe pictured.
You know, if you
So-
need 16 terabytes, people who are installing games like Cyberpunk 2077 and and that other one,
Yeah.
what's that?
COD.
Yes, COD. from Blizzard. Black Ops.
GTA. We'll see if Cyberpunk overtakes GTA in terms of the install size. But yeah,
Yes.
this is fucking massive, and it is
It
okay.
could
So they're talking
potentially
could potentially.
carry on. No, I was going to say it could potentially hold all your porn.
Not me, just like the plural you, the general public you. Because my library is extensive.
You'll need like four or five of them.
I have all these 4 to 6 to 8 terabyte hard drives just sitting here, full of porn. More porn than a one man could see in a lifetime.
Oh gosh.
They are God. I fucking loved the porncast last time. I fucking loved that. They are talking about the 2.5 inch drive in this article, which is why the sequential reads are in the neighborhood of 550 megabytes per second, and the writes are 530 megabytes per second. For such a large, such a large capacity drive, those speeds are pretty good. But now that NVMe has come out, or now that NVMe is getting more popular and more people are using it in their computers, myself included, those speeds look like poo. I'm used to 3500 read speed.
Yeah, what are the IOPS like on this drive?
There aren't. I don't think they're detailed. No, there's nothing that detailed. They only give the in out. They only give sequential reads and writes at 550 and 530 respectively.
Wow.
It's still pretty good compared to the other 2.5 inch drives that are on the market right now. They have one here from Crucial that they compare it to, which is 560 read, 510 write sequential. But sequential is one thing. Most of what you're doing on an SSD is random. So random read-write or sustained read-write is sometimes more valuable data. But yeah, 16 gigs. That's a lot to cram inside of a 2.5 inch drive.
It's a lot to put in 2.5 inches.
16 terabytes, not gigs.
Terabytes.
TBs.
Sorry.
TIGs. We're gonna have to come up with a new acronym for terabytes. It's gonna have to be like TIGs.
Tibs.
Tibs.
Yeah,
Tibs.
16 tibs.
Is that
Which is gonna-
the
it's gonna
actual
turn into tibs.
term? Is
I
it
No.
just decided that that's what it is. We
Yeah.
need to make it a thing now.
So now it's 16 tibs.
tibs? Okay. I like tibs. I'm okay with tibs.
Would you like to engage in some light
Also
tib
like-
touching?
I did like TIG too. I don't know.
Nah, tib.
TIG
Easier to
reminds me of
remember.
that
Well, there's
comedian.
no G in terabyte.
Well, I know,
Tera
but
gigabyte.
that doesn't matter. Tigabyte.
They're
Sounds
great.
more like a terrible bite.
Tigabyte. Arr.
Oh god, no, yeah, I shouldn't have done totally tiger. I should have said T-I-double-G or
Tigabyte.
that is
Oh gosh.
again, that is deeply ingrained.
Yeah, I like tibs. Okay, so 16 tibs. Nice.
16 tibs.
For those of you that don't
they-
know what a tib is, get with the times.
If anyone isn't familiar with Sabrent, they are the company that was the first to launch the 4 terabyte PCIe 4.0 NVMe SSD. So those tiny little sticks that you put in your motherboard. And apparently, briefly earlier this year, they boasted having the fastest M.2 SSD around. Did not know that. So that's neat. Anyway, they're a pretty solid company to go after if you're building a computer and
Nice.
you want more hardware. So yeah,
love
that will
little
wrap up
hardware.
the technology section. And who wants to talk about Nintendo?
Not me. That's
Just
another console.
The ongoing story of Nintendo pissing off its own fan communities. The Splatoon gaming community has now had an event canceled by Nintendo after they were members of the community were using the free Smash hashtag and free Melee, which we talked about in previous weeks, where Nintendo has been kind of treating the Smash Brothers communities kind of shitty. And so the Splatoon community, expressed their support because there's a history between the two gaming communities and Nintendo events. Larger Smash events would often give Splatoon a place to hold little tournaments of their own at the events. So, just a little update on Nintendo pissing off its player base.
Still at it, apparently.
But why? Nobody knows.
Nope.
Alright.
Fuck you, Nintendo. Oh no, I didn't mean it. I have zero feelings for Nintendo.
I'm also pretty neutral on there. It's a pretty shitty way to treat your customers, but
I mean,
I guess that's their fault for having a Nintendo.
my whole thing with the Nintendo is that
I'm
sorry,
His
I'm
whole
kinda-
thing with Nintendo is that
well,
he's
sorry.
got 2 of them.
Well, no, my whole thing with the Nintendo is that their rules are so wonky on what they do and do not allow. It's like you can stream Pokemon, you can stream Animal Crossing, you can stream all of that, but the second that you go to do like a Melee tournament, they shut you down. Which, what? Makes 0 sense.
No,
There's got to be some convoluted reason behind that. Probably having to do with money.
Well, then that was the whole beginning of the issue last week, or whichever week we talked about it, was they were shutting down Melee events that were being held online. And their reason was, copyright, blah, blah, blah. But the common opinion is that they just want to force people to play the latest version of Smash Brothers rather than a version for Nintendo 64. So they have decided to, make their money by pushing the latest gen of the game and trying to stop the older generations from, or not stop them, but from withdrawing any official support.
Well, except it sounds like they are trying to. Well, in a way, they are trying to stop them. Not just withdrawing support; they're trying to get people to forget about them.
I mean, yeah, but the only way that they can do that, they can't make the game not exist, but they can remove their support from events and whatnot. So they're definitely trying to do that because they want everybody to buy a Switch and buy the new games, and when the next generation of Smash comes out, get that one too, and keep playing whatever is the latest and greatest. Because it's a franchise.
You know what I think's fucked up about Nintendo was I found out the other day. I bought a game on a Nintendo Switch, and when you buy a game online on their store, you get gold or something like that, which is a premium currency that you can use as discounts towards future games that you purchase. Or you can even use it to actually buy a game in full if you buy enough fucking games. I think you got to buy like 300 in order to get one free game. Something like that. But the gold goes away over time.
It's like Argon?
Yeah. So after a certain amount of time, you actually just lose it all. So it's like, use it or lose it. Here's this fucking money that we're giving you, but you can't you can't use it whenever you want. You have to use it within a limited time. So keep buying games, otherwise you're going to not be able to buy games with it. That's fucked up. I don't like that. If you're going to give me money to buy games back, like, that's cool. You rewarding me by giving me a small token of your appreciation of me buying your games. I mean, it's like, what, 20 fucking cents off of a game, or maybe a little bit more than that, $1 or something. It incentivizes you to continue to buy games on the online store, but don't make it go away. Like, that's so stupid.
Look, what they want is for you to get a 20-cent discount on your next game, not save up to get a free game.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do. They want you to feel happy that they gave you a cookie instead of, saving up everything to cash in something.
Well, I mean, imagine the money that you make on your Steam account from those stupid trade-in cards and things like that. They said, oh, well, yeah, that Steam wallet disappears over time.
Your Steam wallet degrades. Yeah, no, I was trying to imagine. By the way, we made it over 50 minutes into this podcast before somebody brought up Warframe, and it was me. Can you imagine if Warframe did that with Platinum? It's a different situation because you can't use Platinum to buy anything outside of Warframe. It's there for in-game currency. But your Steam wallet example was better. Can you imagine if the Steam wallet degraded and reduced itself?
Well, see, I think the Warframe situation would be more likely than Steam, because with Steam they connected it to actual money. But money in your Steam wallet is actual money. You can put actual money in your Steam wallet.
Yeah.
Though then again, I have an app on my phone that's a Google Rewards app where they send you little like stupid quizzes, like market research kind of stuff, and you finish them and you get like 10, 15, 20, 30 cents that accumulates in the app that you can spend in the Google Play Store, and each piece of money that you get has, I think it's like a 6-month expiration on it. So they do something like that, but it is tied to quote-unquote real money. But it's not money that you can actually pay into. It's just like a little reward pool that they give you for, doing market research. And that's pretty much it.
It should also be noted that on Steam, yes, your Steam wallet is real money, and you can put real money into it. But once the money is in your Steam wallet, you cannot take it out. You cannot make a transaction and transfer it somewhere else. It is there. So yeah, selling all those cards, getting all those $2 games might not have been possible.
Yeah.
So worth it.
Anyway, my little Nintendo rant is over.
Would you like to continue on to an Xbox Game Pass rant about their tease?
Yeah, I'll rant about that. Why the fuck didn't they tell us what games? Don't tell me there's a tease of something coming and not tell me what's coming. Like I got all excited. I was like, ooh. And then I jumped in there and I was like, fuck, there's no fucking details. Fuck this post.
I sort of had the same reaction. So Microsoft appears to be teasing a big week for Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And they're saying that they will be releasing, for the subscription service, they're releasing nearly a dozen games, including some Game of the Year contenders and brand new releases. And then they go on to say that Matt Percy hasn't actually elaborated on any of the games that are in there. So it's like, hey, this thing is coming. We're not going to tell you what's in it, as Leetness said.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been hinting at a quote-unquote big holiday season for the subscription service. So sometime in December, in this month, there will be a whole bunch of games releasing on the season pass.
They've had some good ones come out recently. I've been quite stoked about some of the releases. They've had Final Fantasy VIII Remastered come out, Gears Tactics, Ark Survival Evolved, Halo 4, Mountain Blade Warband for PC. This is all PC titles, by the way. There was Doom Eternal, which I've installed because hell yeah.
Hmm.
And they also released Starbound and Dragon Quest XI, the remastered edition. So these are all like recently released. So quite excited to see what they come out with.
Wait, how many Dragon Quests are there?
I don't know. This is Dragon Quest XI. I mean,
And that doesn't include Dragon Quest Builders 1 and 2, I believe.
Echoes of an Elusive Age, the definitive edition.
How long has Dragon Quest been going on?
I don't know, but I remember playing King's Quest and Police Quest. I don't know if you guys remember those.
I do remember King's Quest.
And Police Quest?
Not so much that one.
That one's like really old. I think that was one of the first ones. That one was a lot.
Huh. Okay. So anyway, new titles are coming.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what comes, but I'm mad at that article for making me. It's clickbait.
Surprise, surprise.
It's fucking clickbait. Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'll tell you how much fun I'm having there whenever it comes out.
Solid. All right. And you had mentioned, they had some pretty cool games coming out, or Xbox Game Pass had some cool games came out recently. Epic is also trying to give away or make some titles available for free. They're coincidentally doing it on Cyberpunk's launch day. So I don't know. Figure that one out.
Two RPGs too, yeah.
That's 2 award-winning.
Epic. Yeah, Epic will be giving away quote unquote 2 big ass RPGs into its free games pile, and they will be Pillars of Eternity, the Definitive Edition, and Tyranny Gold Edition. I own Pillars of Edition on Steam. I'm gonna get it on Epic because I'm pretty sure I don't have the Definitive Edition.
We should totally all play that. That would be such a fucking cool game to play together because it's literally like D&D in a game.
It's it's got a D&D setup to it. It's got Diablo 3 mechanics. Actually, similar to Diablo 3, not the same.
It's turn-based though, isn't it? Yeah, it is turn-based.
Yeah.
I would really enjoy a gameplay of that. I think if we did it as a group.
I started playing that a while back because Freligator, of all people, was playing it, and I got into it to learn how to do it so that we could maybe play a game together. And then he started playing Escape from Tarkov, like hardcore, and we just never got around to it. So sad.
Really.
That's my story.
Ooh, I need to play Anthem with him. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, because Anthem's had some pretty serious. This is not on the list. This is not on the topic list, but Anthem has had some serious updates come out recently that have apparently made the game a lot more playable, and it's making people happy.
Happy peoples makes people happy.
Well, nothing better than something that you spent a lot of money on finally becoming something worth doing.
Yeah, right. It took long enough. It took 2 years.
Yeah. I last played August 11th, 2019.
Really? That I was gonna say, that seems like recent. Sometimes forget that game's been out since like January 2019 or 2018.
Yeah, you're coming up on 2 years.
Yeah, January 2018 or 19, whatever. So yeah, Epic Game Store. There you go.
Yeah.
Get your free games.
Don't. Screep deep deep dee 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 dee. Sorry.
Does anyone want to talk about how Call of Duty sold $3 billion of product to over 200 million people in the last year? I don't play COD.
I just put it on the list because it's fucking ridiculous that game is making that much money. And
That is crazy.
Like, that's all. I just want to talk about how absurd that number is. It's just fucking unbelievable that the Call of Duty franchise has sold $3 billion worth of product.
That's 100% Angelina Jolie in that photo. I already know. I don't need to click that stupid link. Your ad. You need to get an ad blocker.
Or just a thought, you could ignore the ads leetness.
How can I ignore them? They're in my face.
And if you,
This is why I have ad blocker. It's like I'm a magpie and I flock to ads.
if there's anything that we have learned is that Leetness cannot ignore anything rubbed directly in his face.
Wait,
Exactly.
is that the guy who played Count Dooku right behind him?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah, no, it is mildly absurd that Call of Duty makes this much money or it has made this much money. It's crazy. What's mildly hilarious though is the other article that was on the list regarding Call of Duty, and that is that it is reportedly that Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is reportedly bricking PS5 consoles.
Good.
All I'm
Good.
gonna say is oof.
I like these announcements.
I mean,
I was actually, or through this article, I was trying to figure out what that $3 billion came from, because all the article says is it includes all game sales, all DLC sales, and merchandise, and anything else that they were selling attached to the game. I was curious how much of that money came from actual game sales versus DLC. I wanted to see how their DLC market is doing.
Or receptacles. How many people paid for that little red dot?
yeah,
Yeah, right. Reticle.
Yeah.
Receptacle. I like receptacle better.
Receptacles. I like that better.
Hey, you know what,
But,
man? Yeah. Every bro named Chad has to have the red dot reticle.
This is true.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. And then going on to more first-person shooter games. Epic says no in-person Fortnite in 2021. They eventually want to hold global in-person tournaments again because obviously they make money off of them, but they're not going to be able to swing it in the at least Q1 or Q2 of 2021. So they've just sort of called it off for now. There may be updates on this later, but yeah.
It's just a strange situation in the world of esports now. I mean, yeah, everybody's talking about sports like professional sports and stuff like that. But the esports are changing pretty drastically, pretty quickly due to COVID. Now it's all going online. You're seeing StarCraft tournaments with people sitting in their bedrooms, and it's interesting because one of the things about live esports, in-person competition, everybody's on the same network. All that is in-house. Now you're dealing with people at home. You might be dealing with lag. Different people with different internet connections. You never know. So it's just interesting to see if any of that comes up as esports tries to pick up in this new remote format.
I suppose the only way they could maybe get away with that is if they did a streaming service like Stadia. They can control the FPS and whatnot.
I was gonna just bring up with esports the whole. It's not obvious statement is obvious. It's not like physical sports like touch ball or throw ball or novelty flying disc. You don't actually have to be in a place with other people to do it. The whole thing behind esport championships and World Cups and all the rest of that was the spectacle of having a whole bunch of gamers sitting in the same room at a table with this like huge crowd in front of them, and all these pretty lights going off, big screens, announcers, hashtag ads. So the thing about it is like they were selling the spectacle. They can't really do that anymore because of COVID, but the games themselves, as Omega says, don't need that. Esports can be performed from home. You can have people on their webcams sitting in their bedrooms in front of their computers competing. It's just not a big spectacle. So they can't really make the money off of it. So they're not really jumping to adapt. That's at least what I'm taking away from this, is that they could. Esports definitely could adapt, and Epic could take advantage of that, but they're selling spectacle and they're not able to do that right now, and they're not really evolving very quickly.
Well, they're still doing online tournaments and stuff. They're just saying they're not like giving up on esports for the duration.
No, of course they're not. They're saying none in 2021. They're saying no Fortnite World Cup. They're saying no Champion Series, or no live Champion Series at least. They're still going on. The events, Chapter 2, Season 5 is set to begin, according to this article, is set to begin February 4th, 2021. So obviously this stuff is still going on. It's just not getting any publicity, and they're not really spending any money on an event, so they can presumably make money back, is my point. But yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that'll all evolve with time. Time heals all wounds.
Apparently. But yeah, that'll wrap that up, and we can move on to movies and other media. My favorite part of the whole thing. Starting with critics praising Wonder Woman 84, saying, "It's what we need right now."
Nice. Can't wait.
It's a superhero movie.
Mm.
I enjoyed the first Wonder Woman movie.
With everybody's favorite actress, Gal Gadot. Doc, your thoughts?
I enjoyed the first Wonder Woman movie because I didn't know who Gal Gadot was. Then I learned more about her, and not really can't really.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate. We're living in an age right now where actors and their characters are not really separated anymore because of social media and because of the amount of exposure that actors give themselves and put out there for other people to see. We get to know them as people, and then we see those people in those roles. It's a far cry from how it was 50 years ago, when nobody knew William Shatner in personal life, aside from his friends and the people that he worked around. It's just we all knew him as Captain Kirk, or the guy on the plane who thought that there was a demon on the wing. Yeah, and it was really easy to admire and love him and be like, oh man, what a great actor, I really admire that. But if we had social media back then, we had Twitter and we had Facebook and all the various means that we use to get to know people that we've never met, Shatner probably would have come across as a huge asshole.
So what's the
he is.
dirt on this one?
Oh, Gal Gadot, she's narcissistic. She thinks that she's changing the world for women, unlike the countless unthanked scientists, doctors, lawyers, progressive politicians, the real females who are changing the world, who don't really get any credit for it.
Or
Gal Gadot is super important because she dresses up in spandex and beats up men.
I mean, or even not even that. It's she does not credit her past. She does not credit the people who paved the way before her for her to be able to do things like this. If for her to be able to,
I didn't even know that.
yeah, no, she does not pay. She does not, you know. Honestly, one of my favorite actresses / comedians for a very long time was Carol Burnett. Not,
I mean,
not,
rightly so.
not. I mean, not everybody's cup of tea when it came to her humor, but I mean, she paved the way for a lot of women to be actresses and to be comedians and things like that. And there are only a handful who will credit. Gal Gadot is not one of those people. She will not credit anybody for her success but herself, which again leads to the narcissism thing.
It was just funny that you brought up Carol Burnett, and I was just talking about William Shatner. You know, the reason that Star Trek exists in the first place is because of Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball, who was the star of I Love Lucy way back in time, the 1950s and 60s. She and her husband, Desi Arnaz, I believe,
Yeah,
formed Desilu Studios. And Desilu Studios was, I think it was under CBS, or they had an affiliation with CBS. And Gene Roddenberry in the 1960s, when he was pitching Star Trek, was going around from studio to studio showing them this pilot, and they were all just like, "Yeah, we're not interested like science fiction unless it has like lasers and explosions and really exciting soap opera of the week kind of bullshit." And that's not what Gene Roddenberry wanted to do at all. So he went shopping around and eventually got to Desilu Studios, and Lucille Ball told him, "Star Trek seems like a great idea. Take this set. We have this studio that we're not using. Take it, make the pilot, or remake your pilot. Come back to us, show us what you got, and if we like it, we're going to give you a TV show." And he did, and they did, and that's why we have Star Trek. So Lucille Ball, before even Carol Burnett, was one of the women who paved the way for some really groundbreaking material on television, because Star Trek was the first science fiction of its kind.
Mhm.
And went on, obviously, to a great franchise, which ended in 2001 with Star Trek Enterprise. So, yeah, I can see what you're saying, Zero. There are a lot of women in entertainment who have done a lot of hard work and taken a lot of shit so that media and entertainment can get where it is, starting from a very long time ago and continuing to the present.
I used to watch I Love Lucy on Nick at Night when I was much younger, and that was always they had a number of those older shows, some of them in black and white, that were just really good to watch when I was little.
Yeah, that I mean,
Yeah.
when Nick at Night was a thing, and it's not iCarly and all that crap that they've got now. When Nickelodeon was good.
I don't ever remember Nickelodeon being good.
I mean, fair point, but it was when I was a kid.
So anyway,
Yeah,
Wonder
I'm
Woman
in-
84 is coming out.
But
Yay!
speaking of Warner Brothers in that fact, Warner Brothers dropped a huge announcement saying that they would be not only releasing their new movies for 2021 in theaters, but at the same time, on the same day that they release in theaters, they're being released on HBO Max. Well,
That's also
it's a great thing for the consumer. It is a terrible thing for the movie industry because you've got places like AMC and Regal who have seen record losses because they can't open. There's no way for them to safely open.
yeah, no.
And I mean, Not only that, but the big thing is apparently Warner Brothers informed a handful of people, excluding production studios and things that were producers for some of these major movies like Wonder Woman 84 and Suicide Squad and other movies such as that, Matrix 4, Dune.
Yeah,
The new
I heard
Space Jam
Legendary.
movie.
They didn't even let Legendary know.
No, they didn't let Legendary know, and Legendary was like, this could potentially screw us because we want to make this a 4-part series. And you're going to just put this out, or you're going to put this out on HBO Max, which could potentially screw us for wanting to make and put these in theaters, because if theaters open back up, Legend wants to put all of the Dune movies in theater first before going to streaming, which rightly so. I can completely agree with that. But apparently they're going back to Gal Gadot, apparently they contacted her agent, and it is a very strong possibility that Warner Brothers is going to have to buy out Gal Gadot's contract for that movie, because the movie may not make the cutoff point, or the minimum buy-in for her to make any money on this. So they may have to buy her contract just so that she gets paid.
I'm just reading through this article now. Yeah. Holy shit, Gal Gadot got paid $10 million for Wonder Woman 84.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's just ridiculous. Yeah, but in more positive news, Matrix 4 and Space Jam: A New Legacy will be coming out. I really want to see who's in Space Jam: A New Legacy. I'll be right back.
LeBron James, that's who.
Oh, boo. For a second, when you stuttered at the beginning, I thought you were going to say LeVar Burton, and I was like, yes!
If it doesn't have Michael Jordan and Bill Murray in it, I am not sold.
I would forgive if they had LeVar Burton in it. I would forgive it. Yeah, Matrix 4. I thought Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 were going to come out on the same day. I thought that was the plan like a year ago.
Ha! That would be cool.
It was going to be cool.
Matrix will win.
What the hell are they going to do for Matrix 4 even? I haven't looked into any of this because I don't actually want the answer to that question, so never mind. I just want to watch the movie when it comes out and be like, or be surprised, pleasantly surprised, hopefully. I wonder if
Your
Lawrence
hopes are
Fishburne
already
will be
very
back.
high.
I mean, if it's going to have Keanu Reeves in it, it's going to be a good Matrix movie, or it's going to be a Matrix movie at least. If it has Lawrence Fishburne in it, so much the better. Carrie-Anne Moss?
Yeah,
yes.
Carrie-Anne Moss.
Would be fantastic to see her again. And whoever the guy is that played, I can't remember his name, never mind. The guy who betrayed them in the first movie.
John Pagliano?
John Pagliano, yes, thank you.
How in the world did you dig that up?
Yeah, really good callback.
Dude, I know. I love John Pagliano. He is amazing.
Did you ever see a movie that he
Things that we
starred
did
in
not
called
know.
Robot in the Family?
No. And this is bad. Part of the reason why I know his body of work, or I know who he is because of the Daredevil movie. He was the smart-mouthed reporter in the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
Really?
Yes, he was.
Damn.
So he was when they were down in the subway, and he was standing there, and they were like, "There's no evidence here," and he flicked his cigarette into the middle of the crime scene area, and it just lit up the Daredevil emblem that was apparently there in some sort of flammable substance.
Because obviously when you flick a cigarette into some flammable substance, the flammable substance catches fire, even though Mythbusters debunked that years ago. Yeah, yep. I remember that scene now. I only remember him as the Borat-esque father of a family who was also an inventor in a movie called Robot in the Family. which
Oh.
if you've never seen, you're a better person for it because it is garbage. It is hot, steaming garbage. Yeah. So, what's the long and the short of this? WB and HBO. Yeah.
Essentially what it's going to
WB is pissing people off.
WB is pissing off the production companies that work with them, and a lot of the talent that is signed to them. Honestly, this for WB, this could ruin their screen presence, because if they do this, people are going to start expecting Warner Brother movies just to release straight to stream. And
Well, will they though, or like COVID exceptions?
no, I mean, and that could very well be a thing as well. It's just a matter. It's all going to depend on time.
Yeah.
I
mean,
so.
I'm sure the lawyers are going to get fed.
Oh, the lawyers are going to get fat paychecks from this.
There's going to be a lot of litigation. There's going to be a lot of disagreeing, and it's going to happen all before, at least with Wonder Woman coming out so soon. I think it's just like Christmas-ish. And yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they're either going to have to act on that one, and then anyone else who isn't supposed to have a movie coming out after that is just going to be hammering down a door.
Well, I know that Omega put the next topic on the list, which was the Metal Gear Solid movie. You want to speak to that, Omega?
I mean, it's just interesting. They finally picked an actor to play the star. They got Oscar Isaac in there, and finally have a name to put behind Solid Snake for the upcoming movie. That's it.
I like Oscar Isaac. He's a good actor.
I'm not at all disappointed in this choice.
He's got a girthy beard.
He's playing Duke Leto in the Dune movie.
Yeah. Well, Oscar Isaac has some good titles behind him.
Absolutely, he does.
I was just looking. The Metal Gear Solid movie will be from the director of Kong Skull Island, Jordan Vaught Roberts, which I think is kind of hilarious. And behind that, he's got not a lot that I'm familiar with. Oh no, Zero. He also directed the Destiny 2 New Legends Will Rise live action trailer.
Ooh, okay. I know which one that is, and that was the one where they used oh my god, what song was it?
Sunshine, Lollipop, Sand.
No, it wasn't that one. Though it would not surprise me.
They
anyway.
did the mash.
But no, they always get like Led Zeppelin or the Doors or somebody like that, some band like that for the Destiny 2 trailers. Bungie spared no expense when it came to their live action trailers. It was great. Which actually I'm currently being pressured into potentially going back and playing Destiny 2, and I'm trying really hard not to give in.
Don't do it.
I mean, if somebody buys it for me, then I kind of feel obligated, but that's pretty much the only way I'm going to go back to it at this point.
Isn't it free?
Not on Steam. Not New Light. Or not, well, New Light is, but
Beyond Light.
Yeah, Beyond Light. That's not free.
I mean, it's all the same light to me. Doesn't have to be new, old, beyond, up, down, left or right.
But in the final, well, I guess we've got two articles, really, both of them pertaining to Netflix. So, a Taiwanese horror game, Detention, is apparently getting a Netflix adaptation. I have not heard anything about this, but it says it's a Silent Hill style psychodrama, which if that's the case, I am totally down because I dig the hell out of the Silent Hill games.
When you said that first, I thought you said Taiwanese horror game.
That would definitely come from Japan.
Taiwan actually has class.
Well, Detention was a horror game that was set in a Taiwanese high school.
Horror. Okay.
And yeah, it was in a Silent Hill style. If anyone is familiar with the Silent Hill games, they are very good. They're very creepy. They're extremely J horror, which is not. It's the antithesis of jump scares. It is just very creepy. Things moving in the background. Not even like the scariest shit could be something just very slowly walking towards you if it's set up right and the right atmosphere's there. So, yeah, I would look forward to seeing a show like this. And it does. Let's see. Series is now in development. Yeah, it doesn't say if it will, when it will come out.
Yeah, but I do have a funny story about Silent Hill. My stepfather would play Silent Hill growing up. He still works for, but at the time was working second shift at the railroad as an electrician, and he would come home and he would play Silent Hill before going to bed. My mother one morning woke up, grabbed the game disc out of the PlayStation, grabbed Silent Hill 1 and 2, smashed them with a hammer, threw them in the trash can, and said that he was never allowed to play them again because he was fighting the demons in his sleep.
Ugh.
And accidentally hit her. So my mom said no more. Apparently it wasn't a hard hit, but it was enough that it almost pushed her out of the bed. So those games got taken out of the house and they were never allowed to be brought back in. So, and then Activision is apparently suing Netflix for poaching its CFO. More corporate bickering.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's what Netflix is saying. What are you gonna do?
But yeah, no.
This is actually hilarious. I know we've moved on to Netflix stealing things, but right, you brought up the Silent Hill, or we brought up the Silent Hill genre in the video game. There was also a movie made in 2006.
Yeah.
The movie was it was pretty good, actually, in the vein of Silent Hill and trying to keep to that style of horror where it was just creepy instead of not jump scares. I went back and I looked at the directors. So the director of the 2006 Silent Hill, which actually preserved the horror elements of the game, even if it tinkered with the story a bit, was Christopher Gans, who people might know. Actually, people wouldn't know this at all, but I know him from Brotherhood of the Wolf, which was a 2001 French film, Crying Freeman, and Necronomicon, Book of the Dead. Which, these are not things that other people would have watched, but they are all very tempered horror, and so it makes sense to me why they would have picked him for Silent Hill, because he's got a good control. He's not all about oh my god, there's a scary monster here, boo. He's just about very creepy environment. Hop over to MJ Bassett, who directed Silent Hill 2 or Silent Hill Revelations, the next movie that came out, which was all about jump scares and was pretty garbage. He's known for shows like Strike Back, if you've ever seen that, which is a show about two special operative agents who just go, okay, there are two special ops guys. They're both extremely good at killing people. One of them is extremely good at being a stuck-up British man, and the other one is a good American who's just going around fucking everything that moves. So that's the kind of stuff that he's up to directing. Also Solomon and Kane and Power, if you've ever seen those. So yeah, there's the contrast between those two that I think is really fucking hilarious. That's why Silent Hill 1 was okay. Silent Hill 2 was nope.
Silent Hill 2 was absolute garbage. I actually watch it if I need a good laugh.
I think I watched one of those rare things where I watched it and then I got rid of it.
It's
I
actually
don't do
on,
that with many movies.
It's on Netflix now, and I actually went back and watched it the other day and was like, "Oh, this movie is awful."
Good lord.
Silent Hill Revelation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 2012. That was not a good
Yeah,
movie.
they don't have the other. They don't have the other Silent Hill. The 2006 one is not on there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
Revelation is on Netflix. The other one is not.
That's too bad. The 2006 one is
Boo.
worth seeing because who's it?
Yeah, I enjoyed that
Alice
one.
Krieg. Alice Krieg is in that one, playing the matriarch of the town, and Alice Krieg just chews the scenery of whatever she's in. She is fucking fantastic as a villain.
Oh yes,
If
she
anyone's,
is. I think,
she was recently in a movie that came out called Gretel and Hansel, and again she plays the witch in the forest. Fucking great.
I think the only woman who can play a villain better than her is Jessica Lange. And that's just because Jessica Lange can play such a bitch of a character. Of course, Jessica Lange's more known for TV than cinema. She has played just about every villain-esque type character in the American Horror Story series.
Yeah, she's been in all the series of American Horror Story. Well, all the ones that I've seen, and she is pretty consistently the villain, isn't she?
She's very, very, and if she's not the villain, she's just, her character is an outright bitch. And
Well, no, okay. See that I don't agree with. Yeah, she does play the villain, but in American Horror Story, the roles that she plays, at least, the character that she's given, I'm thinking about Sideshow or Freak Show and fuck the one with all the nuns, Asylum.
Yep.
That one, and even in Covenant, the character that she plays is doing evil things, but for completely understandable reasons. So I recognize that character-wise she is the villain, but I don't really vilify her.
Yeah. I mean, she's good at it. She's good at it.
A weird thing to say. By the way, I'm glad to see that Sheba has also seen Brotherhood of the Wolf. You're the only other person in the world I know who's seen that movie.
Well, and apparently,
The other one.
rumor has it that Jessica Lange is actually coming back for this upcoming season of American Horror Story, which apparently is going to be centered around nautical horrors, sirens and the like, mermaids.
He just said
and such.
nautical horrors.
Horrors.
Nautical horrors?
Horror.
Yeah, he said nautical horrors, and then he went on to say sirens. He elaborated.
The nautical horrors. Okay.
Yes, boat sluts and such.
Boat sluts are really the whole thing.
I watched the most recent one, the 1984 one. Was pretty good.
It was I liked it, but I liked it because it was that shticky 80s horror type thing. Horror. I keep saying that, and my southern accent takes off the OR at the end and just puts an ER at the end.
You mean horrors?
Horror.
A horror.
So
This is why.
I need to.
This,
roll
by the
my
way,
R's.
this is the origin of our deliberate mispronunciation of shit in Warframe.
A horror.
Horror.
A horror.
Well, it appears that we have come to the portion of the podcast that is our D&D review from this week's session.
Oh, that's right. It's the D&D wrap-up.
Where we get to tell everyone about Bill's incredible dancing skills.
and his hot date.
Yeah, can we not talk about me getting grabbed by a woman who transformed into an eagle and proceeded to non-consensually carry me to the ground and almost make me piss myself?
Can we go back to the part where you said, can we not talk about me getting grabbed by a woman?
I think we need to.
I think that might be a new soundboard edition.
I
Actually,
think it should be.
if we're being honest, Ashrin's character did happen to grab me.
Only to try to teach you how to dance.
I was getting there. I was going to explain, but apparently
So
everybody.
we need to set this up because I thought Omega
God.
was gonna break in here, but yeah, we started off entering a sort of a druid settlement. So we made our way through the Unicorn Forest and then went into this druid settlement where they were having this massive party. So our characters, like started drinking and eating, and Ashrin decided to start dancing, and she dragged Bill into the dance area, and that's when some hilarity ensued with acrobatics checks at disadvantage because 0 was loaded.
You guys basically walked into an end of the world party for a group of people who have been preparing for the end of the world.
That's great.
So
Yeah,
there's chaos.
Congratulations, Sigurd. You're the herald of the end of the world.
Yay! I'm Starbuck.
God. Oh man, thank you for that really obscure Battlestar Galactica reference. That made my heart happy.
References.
No, the damn it, who's that? His fucking name again? Simon Pegg.
Yeah, the bar at the end of the world.
He's the face of the global pandemic. Have you not seen like all of the memes about because of 2020 being the end of the world? He's basically the face of all of those memes. There's a Conan episode about it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Actually, here you go. I posted it.
What the fuck? I Google Simon Pegg COVID meme, and Google says, it looks like there aren't any great results for your search. Would you like to try it? Yeah, no, fuck you.
Oh, God.
That's just what they return for COVID memes because, guys, COVID's not a laughing matter.
Yeah, right.
This is true.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, all the no, this was what the fuck was what was the name of the zombie movie that he was in with Nick Frost?
End of the world.
It was actually just
Wasn't it?
called End of the World.
No. It wasn't called End of the World.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. No, the bar was called something.
The Winchester.
Yeah,
The Winchester.
The Winchester.
Yeah.
Let's all go down to the Winchester, have a pint, and wait for all this to blow over.
Right.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
I remember those were like a huge back in like March or April, and then like it kept dragging on, and other memes took their place.
I do love the. Oh, fuck you for not having. Anyway, whatever. It's a GIF, but it's not a GIF. And when I paste. Oh,
I know, it's a still frame GIF. I love that troll. Oh gosh. But yeah, so no, I did not know that Simon Pegg was getting memed this hard.
You couldn't let it pass without a sense of completion, could you?
No, I could not. I absolutely could not. It was bugging me. Because Leetness was sad.
there. The actual video. It's so fucking stupid that I hate my life again.
But no, I mean, this week's session, again, was one of those non-combat sessions, and it was actually quite refreshing just to kick back, have a little bit of fun, do a lot of acrobatics checks. A lot of acrobatics checks.
Well, that was yours. So each character got like one of the NPCs that we met just made something up on the spot because he was drunk, and it was pretty funny. He was like, "Yeah, we have to test the companions," and so Bill, Ashrin, and Starcom all got their own tests to do. So yeah, Bill, yours was what? Running up a tree?
No, mine was pretty much a parkour session. Essentially, is what it turned into. Hardcore parkour.
Nice. And at the end of it, you got a free ride from a bird woman.
Yes.
And then, yeah, Starcom, you did.
He wrestled.
He did wrestle.
I did wrestling
He wrestled a
for
drunken
fucking
girl.
hours.
It was a long match. It was hilarious.
It was back and forth. You were real close to winning,
I
but
know, multiple times.
the stamina is what ended up winning.
Oh boy.
I lacked stamina.
You're a sprinter, not a cross-country runner.
Yes, I definitely go for the finish line in full force.
And then, how did you put it, Doc?
2 pumps is
Masami's-
efficient.
Not quite that, but I was thinking more of Masami's test. What did you call it?
Got
Oh,
to chase a weasel.
The one-eyed wonder weasel.
That's it. That's exactly what you called it.
It was. Asherin was tasked with finding a very wily ferret, which she did.
Good job.
In part because I believe you had a skill that you forgot about, or a spell, or a cantrip.
I remembered I actually have guidance, which is like the best cantrip ever, but I keep forgetting I have it. So
Get like sticky notes, start putting them all around the screen of your laptop.
well, I just don't want it to be turned into a thing where it just gets so fucking overused and cheesy that I forget that I have it. So it just like the strategy completely backfires on me.
Okay, all right. Leetness, you and I, we're gonna both put sticky notes on our monitors that are gonna say "Ask Asherin to use guidance." So now, whenever we're stuck, we just tell her, "Asherin, use guidance."
Asherin, you should seek guidance.
No, well, I can use it on other people. So like, if probably should have guided you several times by this point.
Yeah, this is her giving out guidance. She can give it to herself, but yeah, this is an outward ability.
Yes, so if you ask
Asherin,
me
you
for
should give me
guidance,
guidance.
yes, I'm sure you need a lot of guidance.
Leetness loves guidance.
I do.
To
I
cigarettes
love
bad.
good.
Yeah, one thing that's really
Hard
cool
guidance.
is there's a new D&D book out right now, released I think last week or maybe
Week before. Yep.
And it's got some new character options for all the different classes and all kinds of new stuff. And it's been a little it's been a little bit criticized for some of the changes that they've instituted, but there's a fair amount of cool stuff. Like,
I mean, you're talking about Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, right?
yes,
Cool.
both cleric and paladin, so Asherin and Starkham will gain a way to recover spell slots. You can basically spend your channel divinity, which sometimes you don't have a need for or you have to find a use for, and it lets you regain some spell slots, which is pretty valuable. It'd be especially valuable for Starkham.
Yeah.
So we can lay down some more smites.
So much smeating.
Sweet.
There's also some new spells for both of your classes. A couple more on the cleric side, but I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
But let's see what else was there that was interesting in these new rules.
There's some more fighting styles available for both fighter and paladin.
Yeah,
Or
you
just
guys
as
are
tier
able
options.
to adjust your fighting style. Well, and it's not just that, but you guys can also, I believe, change your fighting styles now. Which is something new. Yeah, they've added new fighting styles and then martial versatility for fighters, Sigurd. So if you ever wanted to, anytime you reach a level, once you reach 4th level, anytime past that you gain a level, that grants an ability score increase, you can choose to replace your fighting style with a different one.
Does that take the place of the ASI?
No, it does not. It says when
in
you
addition.
reach a level that grants the ASI, you can do one of the following as you shift the focus of your martial practice. It doesn't say you can instead do one of the following. It just says you can do one of the following. So this is just an extra thing you can do at those levels. So if you wanted to change up your fighting style, you could do that. One thing, was there any other interesting fighter stuff? Not really, to be honest. They introduced new fighting styles. Then they gave you the option to switch your styles around if you wanted to. Then they added a whole bunch of stuff for one fighter subclass, which was already the best and most OP fighter subclass. They gave it even more shit, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. Then they added a few different subclasses. The Rune Knight and the Psy Warrior are both pretty fucking cool, I gotta say.
Yeah, most of Tasha's was codifying a lot of unearthed arcana that was floating around there, or reprinting it from various setting books that were out there.
Yep.
I looked at. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of looked at Rune Knight there for a while because I'm a huge fan of Death Knights in WoW, and that is essentially what a Rune Knight is.
Minus the undead flavor,
Yeah, minus the undead flavor.
It's mostly the giant flavor.
I would honestly say for Sigurd, the biggest thing for you to possibly take a look at is the new feats that are available.
Oh, there are new feats.
Fighters get tons of feats, and there's one that really stands out to me. Fighting Initiate, where you gain an additional fighting style. If you don't have a fighting style, you can gain a fighting style. And if you do have one, you gain a second one. And you can have the benefits of both of two fighting styles at once. That's pretty fucking badass.
Interesting.
There's also a bunch of half feats, which are really cool.
Was Tasha's Cauldron the one that also introduced the magical tattoos?
Yes, it is.
That was in.
No, they're in
Wild
there.
Mount.
Nope. The Wild Mount has actually codified any of them.
That's right. They took them out, and then I remember actually them talking about that. They were going to be in Wild Mount, and then they took them out to put them into Tasha's to make them official.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, it's under Chapter 3 Magical Miscellany, I imagine.
Magical items, yeah. Yep. They're pretty cool. They're not just like solid stat bumps. They do something nifty, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, they basically count as items. Like, they are literally listed as a wondrous item. And you put, like, the tattoo is it counts as an item. It counts as an attuned item, no less. So, that's a pretty cool system.
Sigurd's definitely going to want. Sigurd's definitely going to want a tattoo. Sigurd has no attuned items currently. So, I have one. The sword now.
The demonic sword.
The demonic sword, which I don't even know if that thing is sticking around or not. We're sort of waiting to see if we can find a use for it.
I mean, it's rogues. What would you use a big ass sword for? Generally,
I don't know. Maybe it can be used to break some force field protecting something, but in the process it's destroyed. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not in charge of the world. So, so Tasha's came out, and we had a party, and what's next? Next in D&D? Probably next D&D section is going to be slightly more serious. Party's going to be over. People are going to be back to talking seriously about the end of the world. Or maybe we'll discover that they're a really super weird cult, and they welcome the end of the world.
We'll finally,
It's
figure out if they have
the
the answers we're looking for since
40
we made this entire journey.
I have this feeling it's 42.
Probably.
Thanks, Douglas Adams.
You're welcome.
But yeah, the Rogues also got some new stuff.
I was about ready to ask, did Rogues get anything cool? Because I haven't had a chance to look through Tasha's yet.
Well, they got actually very little, but what they did get is quite good. They did get a few new archetypes, but like that's if you're starting a new character, you can go with one of these new new archetypes. But there's a new feature called Steady Aim, which is as a bonus action, you give yourself an advantage on your next attack roll on the current turn. You can use this bonus action only if you haven't moved during this turn, and after you use the bonus action, your speed is 0 until the end of your turn. Basically, you steady yourself, you can't move for that turn, you make your attack an advantage. So it's basically another way for rogues to get sneak attack.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
It's just another way for you to spend your bonus action in addition to your cunning action. But
Yeah, the
obvious
optional
downside of you're stuck in place.
Yeah, firmly planted.
the optional class features are pretty nifty.
But yeah, there's some interesting stuff in the DM tools section, but not really. That's actually where most of the criticism has been, is that the DM tools section is basically trash. And the fact that basically everything that they cover in the DM tools section has been covered better by third-party materials already, or various just fucking YouTube videos and shit. Like, there's better resources out there than the bad version of things that they do.
I mean, it kind of felt like they were just like throwing things in there to fill pages, sort of thing. Like it was just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and none of it was really covered well at all.
Well, like they do a session 0 section, and it's even generous calling it a section because it's 3 pages, and one of them is half artwork. And it's like, this stuff should have been in the DMG when you released the game. Like, this is, and it should be a hell of a lot more than 2.5 pages of lip service to a concept that is pretty important to starting a D&D campaign.
Pretty much. I know there's entire podcasts on the subject. So
yeah, and it's been a common complaint of D&D in general, and particularly 5th edition, is that they, especially 5th edition, is that they kind of leave DMs hanging out to dry because such a huge majority of the content that they produce is geared towards players, for the simple fact that it's a larger customer base. When what they should do is print not necessarily a revised Dungeon Master's Guide, but like a part 2 that expands and adds a whole bunch of shit. But they won't, because the market for that is a fraction of the market of selling, the next Player's Handbook edition, which is basically what Tasha's is.
yep, it's mostly another player supplement, just like Xanathar's Guide. Although that one actually had some useful GM stuff in it.
Yeah, but much the same. It's just annoying that there isn't any good dedicated DMing resources out there from the official creators of D&D, where most of the best resources out there are third party.
Yeah, I mean, and if everyone else is doing it better than them, they're going to concentrate on their customer base. So I kind of doubt we'll see much in the way of anything from them.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because third party stuff is not official.
Yeah.
And It'd be nice if they had more, but I'll muddle my way through it as best I can.
All right, we've been going for right at about 2 hours. I think this one actually tops the record for the longest podcast so far.
Certainly does. So yeah, good times. Thank you everybody for listening. Thank you all of the users in chat that I see.
Yeah.
Hope you guys had a good time. And we will catch you next time. Here's Zero to take you out.
All right, guys, programming for this week. We are looking at Thirsty Thursdays playing Warframe with the crew, whoever's available that night to play, of course. Generally, I know it's me, Omega, and Doc. Sometimes Masami will join, and sometimes
Leetness is dead to us.
Oh, okay. Well, Leetness is apparently dead to us. Saturday, we will be continuing where we left off on Final Fantasy Tactics. So Saturdays are going to now be dedicated to retro streaming. So Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions on Saturday. That may start earlier in the day than 8 o'clock. I may start about 4 p.m. Eastern. So just stay tuned to Twitter, and if you can't catch it on Twitch, it'll be up afterwards on video on demand, or it'll be available on my YouTube channel. I appreciate everybody watching tonight. Everybody here with the Church of Chonkwij appreciates the viewership, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Have a good night.
Peace out.
Yes.
Bye.
So, with the closing remark, I sell fake Uggs. Thank you for the second month of subscription with your Prime subscription. Appreciate that. Have a great evening.